All right, hello everyone. This is Dan Miller, EDU 740, to narrate the presentation over our Week 8 project, which is over research design. Mine is titled Analyzing Staff Perceptions Surrounding Credit Recovery Opportunities for Secondary Students in the Kearney School District. So a little intro to the dissertation. This particular research design focuses on staff perceptions surrounding credit recovery opportunities for secondary students within the Kearney School District in Kearney, Missouri. KSD is a suburban district located roughly 30 miles north of Kansas City, Missouri on I-35. KSD is a public school district in Clay County, Missouri that serves over 3,600 students from pre-K through the 12th grade. This district is comprised of a total of 8 buildings, an early childhood center, 4 elementary schools, 1 middle school, 1 junior high, and 1 high school. The research questions developed for this study were purposely designed to be general and vague in nature. In doing so, this allows for flexibility throughout conducting the study, allowing for potential changes when analyzing and drawing conclusions. The selected research questions are as follows. RQ1. What are educators' perceptions surrounding the efficacy of credit recovery programs offered to secondary students at KSD? Second research question is, what is the impact of credit recovery programs for secondary students at KSD? This method of study, researchers are attempting to fully understand specific concepts in the form of experiences and not statistics, which in contrast are quantitative studies. In considering the research questions outlined above, this research design attempts to understand perceptions of KSD staff members and their experiences with credit recovery opportunities for students in their current roles. In addition to this design being categorized as qualitative, this inquiry may also be tabbed as phenomenological. Hesse Bieber states that phenomenology is not only a philosophy but also a research method for capturing the lived experiences of individuals. As indicated above, perceptions of individual staff members is what will be analyzed, with nearly every staff member having some sort of experience with credit recovery. The type of qualitative research exhibited in this research design study can be identified as exploratory. Simply observing, recording, and evaluating staff responses by utilizing an informal interview process may provide more naturalistic and authentic input. In diving into this research design focus, though studies in similar dissertation topics exist, the information and facts presented are quite limited. With this study being categorized as phenomenological, the purpose is to explore in greater depth the experiences and perceptions of staff involved with these programs, including but not limited to administration and teachers. With research participants and the sampling methods used, 2 secondary level administrators, both with experience as summer school principals overseeing credit recovery programs, were at the focus of the interview process. Purposive sampling and convenient sampling were the 2 that were used and will be used, hopefully, down the road. Purposive sampling is selected in close consideration to the research questions, in addition to the availability of resources a researcher has at their disposal. It is also stated within the text that many types of purposive sampling methods exist, which include convenience sampling. This style of sampling, quote, boils down to who is available, who has some specialized knowledge of the setting, and who is willing to serve in that role, unquote. Considering that staff with experiences tied to credit recovery often come and go, whether teachers or administrators, the convenient sampling method makes sense and is appropriate. In terms of the interviews and focus group, again, the initial participants were 2, with hopes to expand on that in the future. So with the initial selection of participants paired with the utilization of both the purposive and convenient sampling methods, the total number of participants for the study was 2. Each participant was given an appropriate levels of informed consent where their participation was voluntary. Their responses to a series of interview questions pertaining to the subject at hand were kept confidential. The triangulation of data, the sources of data collected for this study was done so in the form of interviewing each participant on their experiences. Face-to-face interviews with these administrators were conducted in person, recorded, and transcribed. Each interview lasted between 30 and 45 minutes in length. Looking at the analysis of the data, once the interviews were conducted and reviewed, the results of these interviews were condensed and broken down by themes and trends by utilizing a sort of categorical aggregation approach. This approach aims to seek meaning when provided information, in this case being raw interview responses. Themes were then coded according to color and were as follows. Program strengths were in green, program improvements were in red, staff perceptions were in yellow, needs further inquiry and investigation were in blue, and a miscellaneous category was in gray. In addition to the transcription, coding, and analysis of interview material, the use of field notes and memos throughout this research design also had proven to be quite valuable. Organizing and charting these accordingly at least provided a roadmap for the future in terms of which direction to head next, with further inquiries and the potentiality of additional research questions. In considering the overall usefulness of the dissertation, in public education, a large number of district mission statements and visions align with preparing students for future successes in their post-secondary careers. When considering students who struggle mightily throughout their secondary years, a system of appropriate and structured interventions are crucial. Credit recovery programs are just that, a system of interventions, because of the value we place with credit acquisition throughout high school. Not only should educators concern themselves with the experience our students reap from such programs, but also with those who are responsible for coordinating and delivering these materials, our staff. This dissertation is useful not only because of the fact there are limited studies that exist on this very topic, but also because we as educators should be leaning on one another to determine best practices in areas in which we should be striving to improve every day. With recommendations for future research, with only 2 interviews conducted for this research design, there's an obvious need for more staff input in order to consider this study as valid. In doing so, the recommendation would be to seek out perceptions of additional administrators and/or counselors familiar with these programs. Furthermore, it would be wise to also include interviews from all staff who serve as credit recovery instructors at the secondary levels, whether this is during the summer school session or during the regular school year. In meeting this number, this sample is more apt to provide a reliable argument tied to the initial research questions. Additionally, with approval from the IRB, students enrolled in these programs may be able to provide valuable insight with perceptions of their own from their own personal experiences. Providing input from all individuals would open up the study and lead to a general consensus, while also hopefully providing a glimpse into the efficiency of the overall system. So, thank you for your time. Appreciate all the feedback throughout the duration of this course. Not sure if I will be rolling, word for word with this actual study, but I think I at least have a good start. So, thanks again. Hope to hear from you all soon.